All right. Number two, to get really excellent at, like, what would that be? Well, to me, that's this. When you take on a listing, if you are not generating buyers with houses to sell, every time you generate a listing within some measured time frame, you are missing the boat. All right. So the challenge for real estate agents is this, is understanding that marketing has nothing to do with selling the house. That's not marketing's job. All right. So when you're a real estate agent and you got all these blurred lines, right, around being a real estate agent, listing the home and selling it, right? I get it. It's just a bunch of blurred lines. And plus, let's face it, real estate agents are not taught how to use a listing to get a lot of customers. You're taught how to put an MLS. And when you run ads, you're not even taught how to run ads. When you run ads, you advertise the address. In other words, you basically do the same thing a FSBO would do. Your ads look like a FSBO ad, 1065 Gunner Court, home for sale, $750,000, 5 bedrooms, 4.5 baths, got a finished basement, got a pool in the backyard. You're going to love this house. Oh, it's great. Swim and tennis community. You just like talk about features, trying to sell the house in the ad. So I get it, but that's not you. So the importance of getting your marketing admin here, and whoops, I'd passed it. And here is the difference between you struggling in today's marketplace with more people with a house to sell or having an abundance or overflow of it. Okay? Because I'm telling you, if they fully implement that program, that system, using all three of these, your marketing person should be coming to you saying, okay, all right, I'm going to set this tour up for this Sunday with this new property that we got listed here, or with this old one or whatever. So who's going to man that? Like, your marketing person should be pushing you on who's going to be there, who's doing what, when. So if that's not happening in your enterprise, there's a disconnect between what marketing's job is. Marketing's job is to generate leads. Okay. So not sell. Okay. So we've got to put measurement in place for everything. So for me, it's 10. That's your magic number. When you get a listing over the next 3 weeks of when you decide to pull the trigger on it, you get 10 buyers with a house to sell leads. So you keep piling on more and more and more activity until you get to that magic number. And when you do, great, or you're hitting it or exceeding it. Some of the marketing schemes for a listing might only generate 4 buyers with a house to sell, and another one might generate 14. But the average is, if I'm listing a home every other day, I want to get 10 buyers with a house to sell leads from that listing over the course of and set a time frame. And your marketing personnel is challenged with, go make that happen. How do I make that happen? All right, well, we've got signs, we've got the main signs, we got shit we're going to do around the signs, and we're going to have a commercial on the secondary signs. We're going to have, this going, well, what if we can't do signs? It's like, if you can't do signs at all in your marketplace, which I don't think is the case, but I get it on some of them, you got to have a workaround. What's your workaround? All right, well, I'm going to put the signs on social media then. I'm going to do digital signs. Okay. So you got that. And then we've got, then we're going to run our house talk primarily to do, it's just like we would do with our property ad template. So it's all here and it's all in the course curriculum. Okay. And then you're going to run your tour of homes campaigns. Should you even do those? Many of you guys could generate 10 buyers with a house to sell leads in one afternoon, in 1 hour. Every time you would do this, you just don't do it. Don't do it. Too busy selling versus growing. Let me repeat, too busy selling versus scaling up the business. Oh, I'm too busy with the customers. Oh my gosh, I got this listing that's not selling. Todd, what do I do? Go get more listings. The hell you call me about one sell? Go get more business. Scale up your business. All right. You're going to get customers that's not going to sell until they get the right price on it. You know that. You can't make somebody buy something they don't want. So how do you create more demand? Improve the pricing point or get it exposed. Okay. If you've got the exposure button handled, you're fine. There's nothing else you can do. You got a pricing issue. So you work with the customer on that, but that's a skill set issue, right? It's a separate issue. So again, if a property isn't selling, it's either price or promotion. But there is no magic promotion you can do to get something that's a commodity, like a regular house in a particular neighborhood. It's not Tom Cruise's house. Okay. Let me give you an example. I sold a house, it was about toward the latter part of my sales career, in Cheryl's neighborhood, Cheryl O'Reilly. They lived in a nice subdivision in Roswell, Georgia called Edenwild. And I listed a home in there that was basically like all the other houses, but it was Morris Day's house. Do you guys know Morris Day? Lead singer with The Time. He was in the movie Purple Rain. Do you guys remember that? So Morris called me, and I go over to his house, and it's nicer than the other homes. But I'm like, yeah, dude, this sucks. Like, you're going to take a bath on all these upgrades you've done in this house here because you're in a neighborhood that's commoditized. And so if I can tell people this is Morris Day's house, maybe you could even do a little special thing in your studio with them down there. His wife had a candy company. I was like, if we can leverage some of that, I think we can get you a lot more money in appraisal, because it ain't going to appraise out. So he agreed with it, and we sold the house for, it was like a couple $100,000, which when the average price in the neighborhood was about $400 or $500 at the time, and he's getting, $250,000 more than all the other homes. That was a big deal. So unless you've got something like that you can leverage, that would be a promotional side of it. There's no magic on it. You got a pricing issue. So, but that is a customer service skill set thing. That has nothing to do with marketing. Marketing's job is to generate a lot of prospects. As long as you guys know that, then I think what you'll do is you'll get more involved in executing on some of these three systems. But using listings to get more listings will be number 2 on my list that you need to be excellent at.